for leading the effort to include in the American Rescue Plan the enhanced version, the much better version, I would argue, of the child tax credit. Would not have happened without their leadership, and I want to thank our witnesses for being here today to highlight it and to make it real for people. Look, I can just speak from the perspective of Pennsylvania in the context of where we've been as a nation for the last 40 years. In my view, we've had 40 years of most of the time, with very rare exception, with a tax code being rigged over and over again for the wealthiest Americans and the most powerful corporations in the world. And it seems like every time the Congress had a chance to choose families raising children over very wealthy families or large multinational corporations, the Congress has chosen the latter. The only time in a substantial way that the Congress chose to help through the tax code families raising children was in the American Rescue Plan. And as Senator Bennett said, it worked. All the evidence shows that. And I'll go through some of that data in a moment. But I think the most compelling testimony for me, as someone who represents a large state, very diverse state, a state that has 67 counties, 48 are rural counties, where the child tax credit substantially, and in some cases disproportionately, benefited those families living in rural communities, with about, on average, $440 a month. When I listen to my constituents, here's what I heard. I met with two mothers in the Lehigh Valley on the eastern border of our state. Two moms, both testifying to me about what the child tax credit meant to them in 2021. In addition to the purchase of food, which we heard over and over again, and all the data shows that, that's what most families are using it for, food and rent and basic necessities. Ms. Lester, you said in your testimony, quote, "We used it to cover basic needs," unquote. That's what I heard in Pennsylvania. But here's another example. Those two mothers I met in the Lehigh Valley said they were able to use a part of the child tax credit they got to enroll their children in school activities they could never afford otherwise. Just imagine what that means in the life of a child. If they can't join a club that would benefit them somewhere down the road, to fulfill their dreams, whether it's athletics or some other school activity. Totally foreclosed if the families can't afford that.
Yes, friends, progress is finally being made. Several lawmakers in the House and Senate are taking action to address Social Security's shortfall. One plan was recently put forward, and it includes changing how monthly benefit checks are calculated. This may lead to larger checks for some seniors and retirees. So friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video, especially if you receive monthly benefits. Also, do stay tuned because I'll be announcing the winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, simply click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. The debate over Social Security reform has largely been framed as a partisan one, with Democrats more inclined to maintain the status quo and Republicans more inclined to push for fiscal changes to the program. But like many things in the nation's capital, that take is not entirely accurate. Over the past few months, two lawmakers in the Senate, who normally side with Democrats, have indicated a willingness to take a look at other areas where Social Security may be adjusted. This is to put it on a more secure financial footing. One of the lawmakers is Senator Angus King, an independent from the state of Maine, who caucuses with Democrats. Senator King is working with Republican Senator Bill Cassidy on a bipartisan plan to make Social Security more financially stable. Senator Joe Manchin, a West Virginia Democrat, has suggested he is open to Social Security changes as long as they don't involve cuts to the program. Senator Joe Manchin told Fox News, "I'm not going to discuss cutting Social Security and Medicare for those people that are receiving and have been depending on it. Social Security has come under increased scrutiny due to worries over how the program will be funded in the future." According to Go Banking Rates, Social Security's Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund is expected to run out of money as early as the year 2032. And when that happens, the program will solely be reliant on payroll taxes for funding, which might only cover about 75% of benefits. So lawmakers have put forth various proposals to address the problem. These typically involve some combination of raising the full retirement age, cutting monthly benefits, and increasing Social Security payroll taxes. Recently, Senators King and Senator Kennedy put forth two more ideas. One is to create a sovereign wealth fund that could be funded with $1.5 trillion or more in borrowed money. If the fund fails to generate an 8% annual return, both the maximum taxable income and the payroll tax rate would then be increased to ensure Social Security stays on track to be solvent for another 75 years. Another idea is to change the formula that calculates monthly Social Security benefits from one based on a worker's average earnings over 35 years to a formula based on the number of years spent working and paying into Social Security. Any of these ideas would require bipartisan support to make it into law. The Republican-controlled U.S. House would need to approve legislation, and so would the Senate, where Democrats hold a razor-thin edge. Then President Biden would need to sign the legislation. The applications for a one-year, monthly guaranteed basic income in Rochester, New York, worth $500, will close in just under a week. The city of Rochester is launching a pilot guaranteed basic income program for all households with an income at or below 185% of the federal poverty level. The new program will select individuals to receive these benefits. The extra income is unconditional, according to the program's website, meaning there are no strings attached, no work requirements, and no restrictions on how the money can be used. Only one member of the household can receive the monthly installments, and the person must be at least 18 years of age. They must also reside in certain areas of Rochester, New York, and they must have been a resident of the city for at least 1 year before applying. Also, a guaranteed income program in the state of Wisconsin will be issuing new payments worth $500 to recipients in just a few days. The payments are from the Madison Forward Fund, which sends monthly payments to recipients on the first day of every month. Analysts have noted that many more cities are testing out guaranteed income programs this year. This is to help with current high prices from groceries, utility bills, and more. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Saturday. The winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway is Paul Ramos Jr. and Ruth Anderson. Congratulations, my dearest friends. To claim your gift cards, please check your notifications page and send me a message. Or you could message me, friends, on my Facebook page. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.